Hello and welcome to your Starseed Healing Circle for today. In today's session we have a kinesiology session set up. So let's dive in and see what comes up. As always, I have done all the dowsing, I've done all of the preps, so we've got it all in place. I'm just going to guide you through the process of what you need to do. And as always, let's start with our tune-in. And let's see what comes up for you personally in today's session. So perhaps close your eyes, take a few deep breaths in and out, and just center. Tune into what it is that you want to work with today. What is your intention? What's your focus? What would you like to receive? What would you like to let go of? What would you like to heal? And when you feel ready, gently open your eyes and allow it to rest on the Lightcode, or perhaps trace the lines like a labyrinth. No need to analyze or translate or understand. Just keep your focus on your intention, on your focus for today. What would you like to heal? What would you like to receive? What would you like to let go of? What do you want to manifest or bring into your life? You can spend as much time here as you need. Pause the recording if you need more time. Okay, so let's have a look at what came up within the dowsing. So all the emotions, everything I've dowsed, and there's some aspects I'm not going to be touching on what came up within the session. I'm going to be focusing on the information that you need to know about and that you want to work with. So very important that you bring everything back to your intention for today. See how it makes sense. If you need to pause the recording, perhaps write down your insights or your information, perhaps journal a little bit about it, really spend a bit of time to dig into how these emotions relate to you. If an emotion does not relate, then think back to a time in your life when that emotion did relate and see how that connects with where you are. Okay, so our first emotion that came up is neglected, and it's in relation to intention. And our dimension on top of that is tribal beliefs. So tribal beliefs takes us back to the belief that the tribe has. So the tribe would be your family, their family, sort of your extended family, grandparents, uncles, aunts, perhaps even going a little bit further out into a few generations and into your cultural background, whatever that may be. So what beliefs is there that is influencing, especially when it comes to neglect and intention? I know a lot of us are probably not taught as youngsters what intention is or how intention works. So there may be some neglect around that. And if, again, bring this back to your focus, your healing or your manifestation or what you want to do with today's session, where are you neglecting your intention and how does that relate to tribal beliefs? Okay, right, I'll leave that with you. So I check the stress levels. Remember, we are working with a group, so I'm working sort of an average group level. The stress level is sitting at 65%. This is in relation to your goal. And the life energy is 20%. We would like to have stress really low, perhaps even zero, and we would like to have life energy really high, because that allows you to get to where you want to be in relation to your focus. The sabotage that comes up is I can support myself or I cannot support myself. And the emotion in relation to this is excited, and it's in relation to Kundalini rising. So for me, this sounds like a really positive emotion. The sabotage is I can support myself or I cannot support myself. So how does your focus relate to supporting yourself and perhaps not being able to support yourself? So this could even go back to tribal beliefs about, remember, we've got neglect and intention. How does support maybe fit in with that? Because your sabotage works with your emotion and with your focus and intention. Whatever your focus and intention is, the sabotage is what's stopping you from getting there. And your sabotage here is, I cannot support myself. Excited in relation to Kundalini rising. How is Kundalini rising and excitement perhaps distracting you from being able to support yourself and not neglecting your intention so that you can get to your focus or your manifestation or your healing or whatever it is? Okay, again, think about those and see how you're going to relate to that and work with that. I'm skipping a whole lot of things that you guys don't need to know about. That's just my testing in the background. So then we want to look at the archetypes that came up. And the archetype, the negative archetype that we want to release is the wounded child. So the wounded child blames all of the dysfunctions and all of the relationship issues and all of the issues to the childhood wounds. And there's usually a resistance to moving on or a resistance to forgiving. So really what we need to do with this wounded child is to say, or to get to a point where we go like, you know what, I am me right here, right now. The wounded child is there in the past. We can do the healing and whatever, but I can't blame everything that's happened in my life on the wounded child. I need to take responsibility for where I am right now as well. Our positive archetype we want to bring in is the detective, the Sherlock Holmes or the spy, the Snoop, private investigator. And with this comes the power of observation and intuition. And so there's a desire to seek the truth. So again, bring all of these into relation with your, into the focus of your intention for today. And how can you use your observational powers and intuition to guide you in the right direction so that you can also seek the truth for yourself. Okay, so let's see what comes up in the healing session then. So that is all of our background done, and now it is time for corrections. So I'll guide you through the corrections, and you will be doing those on your own right now. So get yourself comfortable, and then let's have a look at what came up for this. So our first correction that comes up is called intercession. An intercession is usually where there's some burden, either another person or a body part or something internal to you. Now, what came up as, because we've got three corrections for this particular, we've got three corrections within this one. I'll put the video on so you can see me. And I tasted through, and the situation that we're working with, or that we're focusing on for this particular one, is a burden over a part of the body. So this is not a burdened person or a burdened situation or whatever. We are focusing specifically on a part of your body. Something in your body is burdening you. So there's something that's bugging you. And again, bring this back in relation to your intention for today. Is there a body part that's bugging you? Okay. Then what we did was, on our balancing points, I have the Wands of Horus cards. So the Divine Child sits on the left ankle, and the Shadow card sits on the solar plexus. So they're going to stay in that location while we're doing this work, and then we're going to get into the fixing of this, or not the fixing, but the correction point. Okay, so I want you to sit comfortably, or you can lie if you really want to. And we are going to place one palm on your forehead and one palm on the back of your head. Okay, and you're going to hold this throughout the session. Now, scan through your body to the part of your body where the work is needed. And you perhaps already know where this part is. And first thing you want to do is just acknowledge what you are feeling in this area, or what you are experiencing within this area. Don't deny it, don't resent it, don't feel let down. Just be, accept, and listen. Okay. Now, allow healing energy from the entire body to permeate you gently, not overwhelming it. So we're just sending from all parts of the body, all the parts of your body that are functioning well, all the cells, they are sending energy to this one particular place. The healing energy is coming from all over your body, and it's coming to the area or the areas of your body where it is needed. Remember that your body has the infinite wisdom and creative energy to know how to deal with this energy and to know how to work with this healing frequency. So just allow the energy to flow. Just pay attention to what you are sensing, experiencing, or feeling. And if you need more time here, feel free to pause the recording. Just allow more and more of this creative energy from the rest of your body to flow through to this part of your body that needs it. And take a deep breath in. Hold the breath. Just suspend that for a moment, crystallize the experience. And exhale. Inhale. Suspend the breath. And exhale. One more time, deep inhalation. Suspend the breath. Allow you to crystallize the experience. And exhale. exhale. Okay, you can release your hands from the front and the back of your head. That was our first correction, and we're going to move on to our next correction. Okay, so the next one, we're going to have to get creative over here with how you're going to do this. I'm going to talk you through all the points first, because we've got 8 points that we're going to have to work with, and we're going to have to get creative with how you're going to hold yourself with some of these points. Okay, so it's only going to be about 30 seconds hold for each of those points. And let's look at the emotion first. Okay, so first of all, the corrections coming up here is a meridian correction. So we're correcting the meridians, or the flow of the meridians. And the emotion that we've got here is self-realization, and it's in relation to initiative. Self-realization in relation to initiative. Bring all of those things back to your focus and intention again. Self-realization in relation to initiative. Let's have a look at our points. So we have the Divine Child sitting on the solar plexus now for this particular one. And we have the Divine Feminine in the left hand. And those cards are going to remain there in those locations and positions while we are doing this particular correction. Let's have a look at our points. Okay, so the first 2 points is the bladder 67, which is sitting right on the baby toe. Okay, and then the second point is going to be large intestine 1, and it's sitting on your index finger. Now we need to hold both of these points at the same time, and we need to hold them with a neutral hold. So a neutral hold means a thumb or an index and a middle finger together. So those are neutral holds, because each of your fingers is a positive or a negative except for your thumb, which is a neutral. So both of these are neutral, both of those are neutral. You could also do that as a neutral. But it's a little bit harder to hold than those two together. So in some situations we'll do 2 fingers on one side, we'll maybe do a thumb on the other side for our hold. And what we want to do with this one is just switch back here for the bladder point. So, and we don't have to do this bilaterally, you can do this on one side of the body. So you could put your ankle on your lap or something and put a neutral hold on your baby toe. So I'm using index finger and middle finger, and then you can with your maybe thumb place that on your large intestine 1. So I've got my left foot up, and I've got my index and middle finger of the right hand holding onto the baby toe, and then I've got my thumb on the large intestine of the left hand. I hope that makes sense, but you'll get creative. Find a creative way that you can hold both of these locations at the same time. Okay, for me the easiest is foot is up, and I've got my right hand on the left baby toe. I've got index and middle finger of the right hand on the baby toe, and I've got my right hand thumb on the left index finger. And just hold that for, oh wait, don't hold yet actually. Let's run through all the points because we need to actually do combinations here. I just forgot. Okay, right, so we've got the first 2 points. Okay, the next 2 points is the bladder meridian, and that is sitting on the popliteal area. It's just behind the knee, and it's on that there's quite a strong tendon over there, so it's more on the outside of the back of the knee, and that's going to be the 1 point. And the other point is going to be about 4 fingers or so, 3 or 4 fingers below your knee, and it's also on the inside. So I hope you can see that properly. I don't know if I can zoom this a little bit, maybe. Oops, can I hold shift with this? Maybe you can see that better. Okay, so those are your points. I can see if I can make it a little bit bigger even. How's that? Hopefully you can see that. Okay, so we're going to be holding those 2 points. And again, find a creative way to do that. The easiest way for me is to use my left hand thumb on the bladder point, which is the one in the back of the knee, and then my index and middle finger of my right hand, of my left hand as well, on the stomach point, which is all, it's just on the outside of the knee. So if we're looking at the knee, just in that between the 2 bones and just underneath that little hollow over there. Okay, so have a look at those 2 points. Let's reverse all of this. Okay, so we've got all of our points. This is for the one side, and then we're going to do our next points. Remember, there's 4 sets. The next one is on your lung meridian, and it is again, let's zoom in for this so we can see where that's sitting. So this is right on the join. If you look in that join over here, whoopsie, where's my proportions? So it's on that bone, and if you draw a line maybe from your thumb up to where your arm folds, it's in that point. One point is going to be there, so I think the easiest place to hold that is maybe with the right hand with the index and middle finger, and then with your left hand you can hold the kidney point, which is going to be on the inside of the knee, just sort of next to the bone. Let's quickly bring this up so you can see. So there's your big toe, and it is just up next to the knee from that. So that's going to be the next point that you're going to be holding. And then our next point is going to be on the thumb for the one, and on the inside of the palm. So you can do that with maybe the thumb, your right thumb on the left hand, and your index and middle finger on the palm of the hand. Okay, those 2 points you want to hold together. Okay, so let's get creative with these. I'm just quickly reversing all of those setups, and now we can do the correction together. Okay, so I'll talk you through each of them as well, and we're going to be holding each of the points for about 30 seconds each. Okay, so bring your left foot up onto your lap. Use your right index and middle finger on your baby toe, and then your thumb of your right hand can go onto the index finger. And we hold. Breathe slow and deep. We are looking at the emotion of self-realization in relation to initiative. While holding these points, try not to hold onto anything else. So have your hand free and have your fingers free and all of that. So you've just got index finger and middle finger of the right hand touching the baby toe, and your thumb touching the finger, the index finger. Breathe slow and deep. Then you're going to release that point. Place your left thumb on the back of your left knee, and then your index and middle finger on the outside of just underneath your knee. So you can use your left index and middle finger, or you could use your right index middle finger as well, whatever works for you. But we want to hold both of those points. And we don't do this bilaterally, we only have to do this one side. It's okay. It's a gentle hold, not too much pressure. Just breathe slow and deep, thinking about self-realization. Next 2 points. So I'm holding my right, also using index finger and middle finger of my right hand on the left arm for the lung channel, and I'm using my index and middle finger on the inside of the knee for the kidney point. So I'm using left hand for the kidney point and right hand for the lung point. Breathe nice and slow and deep. Luckily, these points are quite forgiving, so if you don't hold exactly on the right point, it is okay. They still work quite well, so even if you've got it off a little bit by a few centimeters or something, I found that they still seem to work. It's like the body recognizes what we're trying to do. Okay, and then finally I'm using my left hand. My right thumb goes onto the, so the right thumb tip goes onto the large intestine, the lung point, sorry, and my index and middle finger goes into the palm of the left hand. Breathe slow and deep. Okay, right, so that one's done. It's a complicated one, but that one's all done. You can relax your hands and your fingers and everything, come back to normal. Basically, let me just talk about the mechanics quickly about what we did in that particular correction. We strengthened the bladder meridian basically, and weakened the lung meridian. So the lung meridian energy was too much, and so we weakened that, and then we strengthened the bladder meridian. Okay, so next correction that's coming up, this one's in relation to the past, and you're going to see how this is going to relate to you as well. And again, initiative is coming up again. This time it's stubborn in relation to initiative as an emotion. The previous one was self-realization in relation to initiative. So somewhere in the past, you were stubborn about the initiative. Recently, there was a self-realization in relation to initiative, whatever that may mean for you. This particular correction is a stress release technique. So something in the past that we need to release, and because we're working with a group, I've got it as a non-specified age recession, which means we don't know when it is. It's going to be different for each individual. Also, for this particular one, you are going to have to choose what you're going to be working with over here. So I'm going to allow you to take your own initiative and step in and find that. So we're going to need 2 points. One point is going to be somewhere along the sternum, so the central bone that you've got in the middle of your chest. And what we normally do is we sort of walk our hands over the sternum, and you walk until you feel where there is something that maybe feels a bit sensitive on there, or you just feel that's the point, I'm not feeling nice over there. So you just walk starting from right on top here, walk your fingers down, find a point on the sternum where it feels like, okay, not feeling nice over there. And then that's going to be your 1 point. And then the other point that you're going to work with that is choices. So the 1 point is just above your eyes. So if you draw a line sort of up, you can use your thumb and your middle finger. Oh, I can't look at myself in the screen while I'm doing that. So using your thumb on the 1 point and your index and middle finger on another point. So I'm doing that. So I've got 2 neutrals. Or an easier way is just to place your hand on your forehead. That's 1 point. The other point is the mastoid process, which is the bone, the round bone behind the ear, and you're going to just hold one side because the other hand is going to be on your sternum. Another point that you could work is the pubic bone. So it's right on the pubic bone. So you're going to basically push down until you find where your pubic bone is sitting, and you're going to be holding that, and that you can hold with 4 fingers or maybe with the thumb. So 4 fingers will also give you a neutral hold. So you just basically place 4 fingers on the pubic bone itself. And that's it. So you can choose ESR points. So this is your emotional stress release points that you can hold like this or like that. Or you could hold the mastoid process behind the ear, or you could hold the pubic bone plus that. Okay, so that's it. So let's quickly have a look at our setup that we have. So in this particular one, we have the Eternity card on, and it's also about protection. It's sitting on the crown. We've got the Unity card on the Hara point, which is just below the sacral. And we've got the Heart card on the right hand. And so those cards are going to stay in those locations throughout this particular correction. Oops, that's the next one. So we're going to keep that. So find your area on the sternum. Just walk your fingers down the sternum. Find the point where you feel that feels a bit icky or not nice. And then choose whether you're going to have your hand on your forehead or your hand on your mastoid process behind the ear, and or the pubic bone. So hold those 2 points, and then think about the emotion of stubborn in relation to initiative. What does that emotion mean to you right now in your life? How is being stubborn and initiative a chest factor? So something that sits on your chest, something that you feel you need to get off your chest. And why do you think that this particular point on your sternum, and whichever one of these points that you chose, ESR, mastoid, or pubic bone, what would be the relation to those points and your chest? When we're looking at chest here as well, we're looking at, it could be stress, it could be pain, it could be perhaps asthma, bronchitis, any chest related condition or issue that's perhaps maybe it's something that's lingering or something that's been with you for a long time. What is it that you need to get off your chest? What is pinning you down? Just think about those things while holding these 2 points. Breathe slow and deep. Okay, you can release those points. You can open your eyes if they were closed. And let's move on. If you need more time in that position, feel free to pause. You know the drill already. We've got one more correction left. And this particular correction is now going into the future. It showed 9 days into the future. So 9 days, normally when we do these corrections, we try and anchor it in so that it won't derail again. So usually when there's a stress coming up, the body anticipates that. So the body anticipates the stress coming up 9 days from now. I don't know what that means for you. But let's quickly have a look. Where are we now? We're on the 20. Oh, where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's about Wednesday next week. Don't go and look for any stressful situations. It's just the body that's anticipating something. So we're finding a way that we can balance that, so that when we get to that time, that you don't get that stress that the body would have felt. Okay, our emotion that's coming up here is resentment, and it's in relation to quiet. So whatever that may mean for you. Let's have a look at our setup. So here we have the fire card is on the third eye. We've got the synchronicity card in the left hand, and the eternity and protection card is on the left ankle. And they will remain in this location for the remainder of this correction. Okay, so our correction is about grounding. So if you are sitting, get your feet firmly on the ground. If you are lying, that's also okay. So if you are sitting on a chair, have your feet firmly on the ground and really spread your feet out like fans. So spread the toes, anchor your feet, firmly plant them into the ground. If you are sitting cross legs, then really allow yourself to melt into the floor, so that your whole base of your spine melts into the floor. Okay, so really fan open the toes, plant onto the floor, and then from the base of your pelvic floor, between your pelvic bones, either side of your pubic bone and tailbones, just imagine a hollow cord, almost like a big drain, like a big pipe or something. And see this pipe or hollow cord extend out from your pelvic cradle and extending down into the earth. And just keep sending it down, all the way to the center of the earth. If you don't feel comfortable with a wide drain-like cord going up, you could also start with a really thin cord. And then as it anchors into the base of the earth, then that opens up to become a wider cord or a tunnel or a drain, whatever feels comfortable for you. Just use the unlimited power of your mind to get this cable or cord deep into the earth. And just feel it anchoring or hooking into the earth. Perhaps it feels like it's almost pulling your body down a little bit. Now give this grounding cord a color. Really, it can be any color that you want it to be. Choose whatever color comes to mind. So see this cord as that color. Use the unlimited power of your mind. Now put your name on this cord. Perhaps it is repeating all the way along the cord to the center of the earth, or maybe it's just really big, written all over this cord. But put your name on it. Now we're going to ask any fragments of energy that is not part of the present time to leave down this cord. So anything from the past, anything from parallel lives, future lives, past lives, anything that is not in alignment and of this present time, we are asking those energies to leave down this cord. And you can go bump, bump, bump as it's falling down the cord. Just drop them into the cord, and we clear ourselves and accept that gravity will do what it does. Perhaps while all of these energies are leaving your body, bring your awareness to your feet and imagine that your feet are in warm mud or perhaps soft grass, whatever feels comfortable for you. It's allowing any of those old or unconnected energies, fragmented energies, to leave the body. Now open up the center of the soles of your feet, almost like the irises in the camera lens, and allow a rich, colorful earth energy in whatever color that appeals to you in the moment. Allow that color to spring up and move in through the soles of your feet. And this energy is cleansing all the places and spaces of your feet and your toes, your ankles, shins, calves, thighs, pelvis, torso, arms, hands, fingers, shoulders, neck, head, and face. Cleansing all of these parts and spaces so that each part is totally yours. Now imagine we're sending in a brush squad. Could be a squad of elementals or energies or whatever. They are really, really tiny, and they're going in and they're giving you a bone bath, scrubbing and cleaning the bones of your body. Send this brush squad in to give you a muscle rinse, really cleaning out, rinsing the muscles of your body. And because they're so tiny and there's loads of them, they're running through the system all at the same time. Ask this brush squad to give you a flesh brushing. Perhaps even a deep skin facial. It's like an internal car wash almost. So get this squad in and let them clean out the body good. Now imagine the earth and the sun as food. Drink up from the sun, draw in from the earth with each inhalation. And anything that's excess or left over, just let that ground down through this grounding cord or grounding rod that you have going down from the base of the spine. So energy from the earth and from the sun moves into the body. You've got energy from the earth running through those apertures in the soles of your feet, the colorful light coming in. You've got the brush squad cleaning your bones and your fascia and your muscles and your skin, all the internal organs. Energy from the sun coming in from all angles. All the energy fragments leaving through the base of the spine, down that grounding cord. And any excessive energy that you have moving down the grounding cord. You may spend as much time here as you need. Pause the recording if you have to. And when you feel ready, pull that grounding cord back up, close it down. Close the apertures in the soles of your feet. Firmly plant your feet into the ground. And then gently flutter open your eyes. Coming back to this now space reality. Okay, right. So then I checked to see if an aura soma bottle would come in handy for this work that we've done, and the pale pink over pale yellow came up, and this is the bottle for Sanat Kumara and Lady Venus Kumara. And the main theme of this bottle is personal loss and transpersonal gain. So through whatever you are losing personally on a personal level, there's some transpersonal gain that you are receiving. And so this is all about becoming aware of our own internal strengths. It's about realizing our connection or the interdependence with all things. So this is to step away from codependency, be that from situations or people. And it's to get to a point of better understanding of suffering, and to bring a deep awareness. And this is in normal life as well as during meditation. So this bottle combination or color combination clears on a very deep emotional level. The affirmation for this particular bottle is, I learn and grow through the difficulties of life. And so here it's not about succumbing to the difficulties. It's not about agreeing or accepting the difficulties, but allowing the difficult situations to become teachers so that we may grow and expand and learn through the process of the difficulties. Right, so when I checked the stress levels after the session, now it says 23%. We started with 65%. The life energy was at 20%. Now it's at 76%. So that's a much better direction that we're going now with our stress and our life energy. Then finally, as always, there is some homework for you, and you can just decide how you're going to do this. I normally give 2 pieces of homework, and you can decide how you want to do. Perhaps you want to do both, perhaps you just want to do one of them. The one is coaching. So this is like life coaching, business coaching, relationship coaching, financial coaching, whatever type of coaching. That's one. And then the other one is emotional support. So whatever is going to support you emotionally with the work that we are doing. You're going to have to find out what works for you on that one. Okay, so that concludes our healing session for today. I'm wishing you a really beautiful week ahead. The sun is peeking out. We've had a whole weekend of rain on this side again, so the rain just continued. So there's a little bit of sun coming through. So I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I'll see you in our next session. Take care.